What's up, Beer League hockey fans and fellow dumpers? Welcome to another Dump and Pound Sand. Dump and Skate podcast. I'm the head bender, ball buster. Jeremy, I'll slow up traffic for Holland to catch up to me, a.k.a. that's what it's like skating with me, Abdoo. And in this corner, weighing in at a projected increasingly 210 pounds.
What you jerk.
The man that makes this podcast possible, the lead producer, Jacksonville Team Sand Pounder, the guy with the face for podcasting and a body you definitely need a weed whacker to shave but still want to oil up. Jeremy, I'm going to jump out of nowhere and scare the shit out of you at 6 a.m., the White Ninja Holland. I had it up until the damn it.
This is awesome. If you guys are faithful listeners to the podcast, you're gonna be like, why does that sound so familiar? Because he tried it a second time just to see if he could get it right.
You know what? Just enjoy your Marcos 210.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls of all shapes, sizes, and flavors? Welcome back for another episode of your favorite podcast, the Dump and Skate podcast. We are going to get after it right off rip here today. We have a very, very special guest that Abdoo has a wonderful intro for. So we're going to bring him in now as Abdoo gets rolling.
All right. We have an awesome guest today. Someone Holland and I can not only call a friend, but a brother. This guy is a good dude. He made it to the championship the first half of the season, but didn't get to play because he got deployed. He made it to the second championship again for the second half of the season and didn't win because I happened. Ladies and gentlemen, Army Sergeant Cory, the Jersey King Ward. Happy Memorial Day, my dude.
I appreciate it. I almost wore a jersey for you. Just because
did you really?
You guys are, yeah.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. I got to break the expectation, you know.
All right. Well welcome to the podcast.
We had a bet going to see whether or not you would actually show up to ride with me out to my house in a jersey. And Abdoo and I couldn't figure out if you were so committed that you would wear one in the heat or not. And I told you that we probably would have both lost because we would have actually both bet that you were going to wear a jersey. We would have just bet which jersey you were going to wear. And so I don't know how we both lose a bet, but we would have both lost the bet.
Yeah, it's entirely too hot to wear a jersey. Being in the ice rink's different, but yeah, it wasn't happening that day. Abdoo,
are you tired?
Your shirt in the background.
I did that. Yes, it's not my shirt per se. I just wore it during the game.
That's
so
right.
if you're
I
watching,
got a little something for you.
Oh no! Oh.
Holland, explain it for the people that are listening, not watching. I'll explain my shirt. So my shirt, if you're listening, it says "Sounds gay." I'm in. I wanted to switch it up for the team. We were on a 2-game losing streak, so I thought if I wore that while I skated, we would have gotten our first win for the tournament. I'm a very superstitious guy, and that did not work. Back of the jersey had a number 1 that was creatively put together by a couple of my teammates. I'm not mentioning any names, but it had a number 1 in the shape of a phallus, if you will. But then Holland, explain what Cory has in his background.
Nope. Nope.
I believe it.
George. Then he had George Washington is what it looked like. That's all I saw.
Thomas Jefferson. Actually.
Thomas Jefferson. My bad.
One of his famous quotes. You know.
You guys would have to jump onto the YouTube.
Based on that quote, it could have been Benjamin Franklin and his philandering self. But yeah, no, I'm you guys. I didn't see a clear enough picture, and I'll just be honest. I don't know guys based off their pictures that well, but I did go to college, and I have a bachelor's in history, so I do know a little bit about history. So that quote would actually fit better to Benjamin Franklin, but because he didn't
really say that, but
he did love the French ladies, that old Benny Frank. So, but this is not a history podcast, so we're not really going down that road. Thanks a lot, Abdoo, for bringing us into that one. So we are talking hockey though, and since we got our good friend Cory on, and we did just go and play in Jacksonville, and Cory was there with us in Jacksonville. We've had a couple podcasts We had Cory, we had Ponton on with us
Cory's
while we were down there.
He's our first returning guest,
First returning guest, yeah. So we decided to split it up a little bit. Yeah, we decided to split it up here. These dogs really want to be on this podcast today. I have no idea what he is barking at, but he is angry at something. Well, his tail's wagging. He's really excited about something. So we had Cory, we had Andy on, and we realized it's a little bit more than what Abdoo and I can manage having 4 guys on all at one time. Abdoo can't handle 2 guys at once, is what we're trying to say. So
bull crap, baloney. Try me. I'm 4 guys. Hey.
So is this the bread you want? So,
oh my gosh.
Oh man, that was a good grocery trip. So, Cory was with us in Jack's, and Cory got one of our 4 goals we scored the whole tournament. And so tell us a little bit about your assist and or not your assist. Tell us a little bit about your celebration after after your goal. It was a nice one. It was a little delayed, but yeah.
It was. Like I tell Abdoo all the time, I'm not really one to celebrate, but after we just got ramshackled for 3 games straight, I figured I might as well. So, shout out to Lindsay. I did message her after the fact. Her when she scored a goal, all she could think was to, do the jump for joy, mommy pick me up celebration. So
yeah, we're calling it the toddler celebration is what we've got called it.
So I figured I'd bust that one out.
And you did it well. You did it well. You honored. You did it well. You actually had a good vertical on your jump.
Yeah, surprisingly, my knee allowed me to jump that high at that point in time. But yeah.
How is the knee? Watching you? Yeah, that's a good question. How is it?
The swelling's gone down a little bit.
Good old peptides.
Yeah. All right. Shout out Cooch. But no, I should be good to go for Nashville. I've just been icing it, and it's my wife's not too happy, but it's fine.
Not too happy that you're icing, or not too happy that you're hurt?
That I will continue to play.
There it is. I was going to say, you did explain to her, like, it wasn't the intention to get hurt, honey. You can't be mad about that. Hey,
no,
what is
she's like, she just always wants me to take a break, and I will not take a break.
Yeah. So, how did you get into hockey with everything? What brought you into hockey? What's your background with hockey?
That's a great question, Abdoo. Great question.
I'm sorry. I gotta interrupt. We can keep going. This is pure chaos over in the
really
home studio.
I didn't expect you to go. I didn't expect you to drop out, and I just had to ask Cory a question right away.
I'm so sorry. The dog came. So I'm sitting at a table where I can see my hallway, and then our little the kids' playroom, living room, is right to my left. And so, shut up. God, I hate you so much. I can see everybody walking by me if they come by. I can see the dogs running back and forth and all. And I saw 2 of the dogs go flashing by. Of course, if you're listening or if you're watching, you've heard them barking nonstop. I got my kid down here waiting on food to deliver so that they don't bark, but they're barking anyways. So it's just pure chaos. And the next thing I know is I see a little black flash run by with what looked like a pillow. There we go. With a pillow in her mouth. And I was like, wait, she's got a pillow. She 2 of my dogs notoriously shred anything to get their mouths on. My 14-year-old son is sitting 10 feet away from me. He's supposed to be keeping lookout for the pizza guy. So I'm thinking he'll see the dog with the pillow. I glance over. He's staring at his phone. He has here's one of the dogs. Hey, buddy, how's it going? And so he's staring at his phone. He has no idea the dog's sitting on the sofa with a pillow. So I start to yell at him like, the dog's got a pillow. And I realize the mic's still hot. So then I'm muting the mic and trying to yell at the kids. So I'm sure if you watch the video, it looks like I'm screaming at someone in my household. And I was. So
shoot. God, sorry, Cory. This was meant to be about
you.
Sorry,
Cory.
This is meant to be about you, Cory.
Cory, please. God dang it. Now that the dogs
to us
have
how you got
this.
into hockey. I wasn't expecting Holland. He was like, hey. And then I was like, all right, as my part,
Abdoo brings the humor, and I'm the one that guides the show. And Abdoo was thrust into a position he was uncomfortable with, which is rare because he's comfortable in a lot of positions. So,
and thrusting is not new to me lately. So, anywho, Cory, how did you get into hockey? And
Tell us a little bit about your background in hockey, buddy. Where you came from and how you got started. Holy smokes!
Yeah,
Jesus.
for sure. Like,
Good
so
question.
I grew up in Denver, Colorado. Yeah, good question. Good question. Grew up in Denver,
Shout out.
Colorado. I it probably started as I'm sure everyone's known by now as the Mighty Ducks. But I think when the Mighty Ducks actually came out, I was probably like 3 or 4 years old.
Wait, time out. I mean, and not everyone knows about Mighty Ducks because they don't let their kids watch it or haven't let their kids watch it.
Oh, that's right.
This is so stupid. They haven't let their kids. You act like
I changed. No,
I haven't locked up in a safe somewhere. Like, no, we will not watch this in our house.
If your kids
I just want you to hear. This is the chaos I'm in. I have my kid sitting here to catch the pizza. He's sitting on his phone, and my dogs are freaking out because the pizza's here.
Well, at least the pizza's there.
Welcome to the Dump and Dog Podcast. Holy crap!
All right, Cory, I'm sorry. You Mighty Ducks. That was my bad.
Yeah, and so I think I was probably about in second grade, and one of my buddies, one of my classmates, his friend actually worked for, or his dad, not his friend, his dad worked for the Colorado Avalanche. So I remember one of the first games I went to was because of him. And then shortly after that, that was when, Detroit and the Avalanche like notoriously hated each other for a good bit of time.
So you got into a really good time.
Yeah, that's when, I think you saw the front post of the news and it was Patrick Waugh fighting Osgood, and like just watching the fights and, the checking, and it was just something I wanted to get into. So I growing up, I played pretty much everything: baseball, soccer, basketball, football, even did fencing for a while, tennis. But my grandma would not let me play hockey. She was just like adamant, like, no, you're not going to play hockey, And then they had built an ice rink down the road from us, and she finally broke down. And, it's been history ever since. Probably about 7 or 8 years old is when I first stepped out on the ice. I tried roller hockey for like a summer before that at the YMCA, but it wasn't the same. So, yeah, no.
So did I hear you right? You said you just liked the hitting and the fighting, and that's what got you interested in it?
Yes. I mean,
but all right. I wasn't expecting a long answer from it. That was kind of a short. Yeah.
So
yes, that is it.
On top of the Mighty Ducks that you haven't let your children watch. That compounded together, it was just like, this is the sport.
I'm having a movie night tonight with my kids. We're all going to sit down and watch all 3 of the Mighty Ducks. It doesn't matter how long it takes. We don't get up in the morning.
This whole Mighty Ducks thing started when we all met at Holland Zoo Friday before we went to Jacksonville, and Cory asked Aiden, "Hey, did you watch the Mighty Ducks yet?" Like, no.
And for those of you that don't know, Aiden is my 9-year-old son who has just gotten into hockey himself and just made our local travel team here for this upcoming season.
So, Cory, are you? You're a big Colorado Avalanche fan. Are you anti Detroit Red Wings?
Not so much anymore.
But at the time,
at the time, like it was,
yeah.
We were out for blood. Like that was a time to be had. As an Avalanche fan.
Who's your favorite player, or who was your favorite player growing up, and who's your favorite player now? Besides me.
Yeah, besides you. I mean, I always like Wayne Gretzky. As far as the Avalanche, though, my favorite player was probably Joe Sakic.
Mm-hmm.
Presently, it's probably Cale Makar. I like Cale Makar.
Pick. That's a good dude. Yeah,
it's a good pick. Yeah, that's your nephew's boy.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I have you seen the is it Netflix doing the thing, or somebody's doing I've seen all the advertisements for that Sakic like
ESPN.
ESPN's doing
ESPN,
it.
Yep.
It's not out yet, is it?
No.
Have you seen the advertisements for it, Cory?
No, I haven't. I'll have to check that out.
Abdoo, what's the title of that thing? I can't even think of the title.
I don't know. I just know that they
it's about when
it's like an E60 series or a documentary on Sakic.
And it's when the Rangers basically offered him a crap ton of money, right?
Yep. Yeah. And he said
Saving Sakic is what it's called. Yeah, there you go.
You got to check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's already out.
And it's ESPN, correct?
Yeah, it says it premiered April 16th.
All right. Well, shout out to ESPN. We'll take a check. Thank you.
Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus, so you can go check it out. But yeah, no.
Hey, what was your besides the grocery store? We can talk about the grocery store. What was your favorite part of the weekend? We just did a podcast.
It's a freaking hockey podcast. We're talking about the grocery store.
Well, it's part of the hockey tournament. We had to go to get groceries.
It's the hockey culture
for us to feed ourselves to get ramrodded by 3 teams.
Honestly, I think the grocery store was my favorite part. That and probably the pretzel buns, just because I saw the smoke coming out of the oven and chose not to say anything.
And Rob chose not to get up and do anything. They're on fire. They're on fire.
But yeah, the grocery store was definitely that was hilarious.
My favorite part about the pretzel buns was how adamant and angry Andy was at us for
we're the bad guys.
Yeah, we were the bad guys for going like, "Hey, man, they're black. Like they're burnt. Like that's not like they're a little dark brown. Like they're like black." And he's like, "They'll be fine. I don't know what y'all's problem is. You burned 50% of the hamburger buns, you idiot. That's the problem. What do you mean? What's the problem?" Jeez,
I like how Cooch got pretzels from Hooters, just to, like a little dig. You know?
No. I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah,
so, I didn't either. The only person that probably thought about that was Abdoo that way.
So we get to Jacksonville on Friday. Me, Cory, and Farthead. We went to Publix to get some groceries. As soon as we walk in, I go, I can't wait to see how the Holland grocery shops. And you guys are like, he's so loud. You're so loud. I don't think I am.
10.
I don't think I'm that loud, but
it was
honestly,
bigger than a 10, Cory. It was way over a 10.
Well,
because it was. But no. But here's what's so funny is when we were talking as we walked into the store, and so for me, what went through my brain and what made me laugh so hard was one, the reaction of the 30 people that were standing within 50 feet of us that all heard you. And two, exactly what went through my mind was like, man, that sounds exactly like your intros to the podcast, because you get so close to the microphone for the initial, you're like, "What's up?" And it gets super duper loud. And then it settles
I don't
down.
think that.
And that's exactly what you did. You were like, "Let's see what Holland gets in the grocery store."
I don't think I'm
Why
that
did
loud.
you just get so much louder?
Everybody says that I'm loud. Kendra says that I'm loud. A lot of people at the gym like, "Dude, you're so loud, I can hear you." And I'm not a grunter at the gym. Sometimes I am, but like I can hear you talking. I can hear you talking across the gym. But
Maybe
the grocery store was
checked.
Yeah, it's not ears checked. It's self-awareness. We had this whole thing, and he was like, "I don't do celebrations. I don't do none. Or no, I don't do crap talking. I never talk crap. No, but I never talk crap."
First of
to
all,
anybody.
I don't sound. Do I sound like that?
Me at all. You don't sound like me at all.
Another. And Cory is like, "I just heard your accent for the first time ever since I've known you."
I mean, it took me, a year and a half, but I finally caught on.
And what it came from was me being around my wife and kids and having to say, I was fussing at my kids, I think, and you were like, "Hey, I just heard your accent there." I was like, "Well, it came out when I fussed at my child there, apparently."
So we definitely, when we went grocery shopping, we definitely, some teams like to kick like a soccer ball for warm up. Some teams like to jog. If you want to do a warm up before a hockey game, go shopping with Holland, because he'll go from one end of the grocery store to the other end of the grocery store, back to the same aisle that we were in 4 times, and then go back to the other end. But then at some point I go, "Cory, I'm gonna grab this Barbie and put it in the cart."
Almost got away with it too.
I put it in the cart. You tell the story, because you can tell it better than I can, how it just worked perfectly when he turned around.
Well, what were you? Holland was looking for some spinach artichoke dip, and we were looking in one of the aisles, and Abdoo had this Barbie in his hand, and as soon as Holland turned to look at the artichoke dip, he slipped it in the cart, and it took Holland like a good 5 minutes to notice it. I thought we
even
got away with
he's
it
like,
for a
"What are y'all laughing at? What are y'all laughing at?"
I just had to walk away because I was going to give it away. I couldn't stop laughing.
And then I grab the buns. He asked me to grab something. I go, "Excuse me, sweetie, are these the buns you want?" And I told my mom that story, and my mom goes, "What did he do?" And I go, "It's the same exact reaction you had. It didn't phase him. He's like typical Abdoo, no reaction or anything. He just carried on with the day." And Cory is busting his ass laughing. And then we're walking down one of the aisles, and I'm walking in the wrong end for whatever reason. I don't know why. And then Holland goes to the lady. "I'm sorry,
like,
he doesn't."
You walked in front of the lady. You wouldn't get out of the way because you were turned backwards. And I said, "Guys, let's get out of the middle." It was like I was talking to my kids. I was like, "Maybe we should get out of the middle of the aisle." And you were like, "Oh, sorry." And you were normal to her. And so she walks by, and I was like, "Fine, I'll get Abdoo here a little bit." I should have known better. And I said, "Hey, I'm sorry. It's his first time in a grocery store." And without missing a beat, Abdoo comes in with, "Yeah, I just got out of prison today, so it is my first time. It's been a minute." Like, good grief, man. Like, what are we doing here?
I wanted to walk away from you guys several times, specifically Abdoo,
I was going to say, what did I do, Cory? I didn't do anything wrong.
Specifically Abdoo.
Other than apparently the 7 miles I made you walk, I forced you all to walk in the grocery store. In my defense, my wife made the list for us to go get things, and she is notoriously bad at just like writing things as they come to mind and never like grouping and clustering them on like, hey, this is all the milk and like cheese stuff, and like this is all the fresh
pretzel bungs stuff. Or the hamburger bungs, the bungs,
the hamburger bungs.
All right, we gotta get to hockey. We
talked about hockey.
So
your words. This is a part of hockey. This is the hockey trip.
It is. So,
oh man.
So Cory, you also play in tournaments in Vegas. Is that right, or is it Vegas?
Yeah. So my team from back home, Colorado Junk Punch. Shout out to them. I've been playing with them probably.
You've never told me their name.
What is it? Is it Drunk Punch?
No.
Junk Punch. I'll have to show you the jersey. I wish I had it ready, but it's like a rooster, like with his hands up like this. But I played with those guys for probably 10 to 12 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, after I got back from Korea, I started going because I went maybe 4 or 5 times before, and took the time off in Korea. And then when I got back, we they head out to Vegas every year from, I think it's Colorado Hockey Production, or not Colorado, California Hockey Productions. And it's one of those styles where you bring your own team, and they kind of try and group you. I think there's like a gold, silver, bronze type league there too. And it's kind of like we talked about. It's the luck of the draw. Sometimes they'll get the level right, and it's nice and even. And we've won. And sometimes it's been like this weekend, and we can't score a goal to save our lives. But also it's in Vegas, so you can just go off and party the loss away, drink the loss away. So no, it's a good time.
you can go lose. You can go lose more money at the gambling tables. What you can do.
I can go lose the game and lose money in the same place.
Yeah, but that makes your wife really thrilled.
We talked about
more hockey.
We talked about the Jacksonville tournament in a previous podcast. What are some differences and similarities that you noticed or notice between the two tournaments?
I can't say there's much of a difference other than probably the organization. Okay. I don't know how long that hockey tournament's been running, or maybe it was kind of just a fluke year. But I think the California Hockey Productions, they've ran that tournament for quite some time, so their following is big, and it's not. I think with a place like Vegas, I mean, probably more so now that they have like the Golden Knights and the Henderson Silver Knights, they'll probably have some in-house teams, but that tournament for a while was strictly travel, and there's 6-7 teams in each league, if not more, coming down.
How about
that
skill
tournament.
level?
Once again, I think we've kind of figured out where we fit. One thing about that tournament though, so like I think 2 years ago we won the championship, and so that next year they bumped us up to the next league. um, because they don't want you to just keep running through, the same thing. So you get bumped up sometimes, and then that's when you get, you can either hang with them or you can't. If you can't, they'll allow you to drop back down that next season or that next tournament. But skill level is pretty equal. It's kind of they've got a good mix. You have the guys that can skate around everyone and dangle, shoot, and score, and then you have the guys that are just out there, just to have fun, drinking on the bench, that type of stuff. So it's fun. It's not I won't, it's not as depressing as this last tournament was. But it was still hockey though. So,
Yeah.
especially in Savannah, we got to take what we can get. So,
100%. It was just nice that we could play.
Yeah, you make a good point though too, because that one of the things when we did a separate podcast, we talked about this Jacksonville tournament specifically. Abdoo and I sat and talked a little bit with the guy that ran it, and he did say that they're relatively young in running their tournaments, and so the one you're describing out in Vegas obviously has some name recognition. It's been around for a while, so that probably makes a big difference. The other thing that's like a big thing that's a draw, like you said, it was a bunch of out of town teams, and again, as hockey gets more popular, more common in Vegas, obviously you'll get some more local teams. I don't see a real big issue with that. I have an issue with Jacksonville kicking in local teams, but Jacksonville is not quite the same destination as Las Vegas is. And so I remember when I was in my early 20s, I believe, we went and played 2 different times in Vegas, I think 2 years in a row, actually. We played in the USA hockey inline. So it was an inline tournament, but it was out in Vegas, and they did the men's national tournament there every year. And so we had gone out there one year and won it. And then we went back out there the next year, kind of defending it in the same division, and we lost. But it was teams from all over, and it was because it was Vegas. Like, that was the draw. Like, yeah, you wanted to go and you wanted to play, you wanted to try to win. But that tournament being held in Vegas was the draw. And obviously because it was USA hockey, like USA hockey isn't very well known and established. You get to, I have a banner. I have a USA hockey banner that I don't have it, but like we have pictures with that banner. Like, that's something you can walk around and say, like, that brings notoriety. Just like you go to a big tournament and it's got, some name recognition, like people will recognize, like, hey, yeah, we won the such and such tournament. They're like, oh, okay, I know what that one is. Same way if we say, hey, we won the USA Men's Nationals, Division 4, whatever. Guys are like, oh yeah, I know the USA Men's Nationals. So it's that draw obviously is way bigger than what these guys with 24 hockey have, at least at the moment. But they're trying to grow it and make it better. So, but yeah, no, that's I didn't even think about that at all. Even though, like I said, Abdoo and I had some of those conversations with the guy himself. So
yeah, and once again, down the road, who knows, it'll be a lot better. But I was just happy to be out there and skate and at least try on the new skates before we get to Nashville, because that'll be the real fun there.
New silky shoes.
Yep.
It didn't help you stay on your feet though. I was a little disappointed about that. What the heck, man?
That was that like one time.
What the heck? It was.
No, that guy kind of, I don't know what he did, but I kind of got tangled up with him, and then I just fell on the boards like the knee first.
Yeah.
You still skated well afterwards.
Yeah, I can push through. The adrenaline's pumping. It didn't help that, the first shot I took out there, I fell on the knee again, in warm-up. So
I skated. I could kind of tell you laid down for a minute. I was like, oh gosh, please don't tell me. Chris had told us his back was hurting him a little bit. We all knew your knee was not feeling good. And I'm like, we can't go down a defenseman and a winger in this last game. Like, we're just going to die at that point. Like, none of us have the energy to make up for 2 guys missing. And so I skated over, and I could tell you were laughing. I was like, oh gosh, already he's laughing. I said, are you hurt? Or are you laughing? And you go, yes. And I said, oh no, gosh. Oh man. So, but no, yeah, you got up, toughed it out. Definitely did a Superman dive. You kind of lost an edge and just like toe picked it at the blue line. Yeah.
I had to turn away from that knee. I could not take another one. I had to just get to my right side and roll over.
Gosh, that hurts. Just
totally get it.
Yeah.
What was your highest level of play that you've done?
Um, probably fresh out of high school. I played just B League. I was a lot
Okay.
skinnier and I worked in an ice rink, so I had plenty of ice time. My hands were a lot better, shots. Um, I, you know, it was a stretch for me playing hockey. I think one of the reasons why my grandma didn't want me to play in hockey is because it was expensive,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and I went to a Catholic school, which you had to pay tuition for, and then
Mm.
hockey on top of that.
Yeah.
We were frequent at play it against sports, so I never got a chance to play travel teams. There was one year that I went out. I think it was Denver University had like their little feeder team. I went and tried out for them. I made it, but when the price came down, it was like, $2,000 plus traveling, and yeah, it wasn't in the cards. So honestly, just through like I played in-house, through high school and then B League, which is what would be the equivalent to our A League in
Hmm.
Savannah. That was probably like, the highest, nothing super competitive.
Hmm. I got a question for Holland, actually.
Okay. Go shoot.
What was it like showering with Cory?
Oh my God.
Huh? I mean, everybody wants.
What are you talking about? You were standing right outside the shower with your phone. You know what it was like.
Well, that's going.
You Fruit Loop, you weirdo.
OnlyFans at JeremyAbdoo.com.
It was
That was my second favorite locker room moment. It's like Holland went to go take a shower, walked into the shower, was like, I'm not gonna go in there with Cory in there.
I'm not getting embarrassed. I'm not getting embarrassed.
And then,
I
and
thought
then we
we were
said,
gonna
yeah,
squeeze by this.
Cory's like, I'm out of the shower now, but I'm still in the shower, aka the anaconda.
Oh my God, you guys are idiots.
You guys, it's not you guys. There's one idiot on this
No,
show.
it is you. It is you, Holland.
Holland, you did initiate it. You should have just
You
came
did.
in the shower,
Exactly.
washed and
it's-
hopped out of there.
You should have just started washing his back. Like, not even say anything. Just start washing his back. It said, and just whisper, I'm right here, baby. But see, this again, this like hockey tournaments brings out the kids in us.
Man.
It was a lot of fun. Lot of fun.
It really
was a
was.
Cory,
lot
thanks
of-
for being such a good roommate and giving me the bed. I appreciate that. That
No,
damn
man, no
bird.
doubt.
That damn bird. Next time for Nashville, just you're allowed to carry. Bring a gun just in case there is a bird out in front of that bird. That first night, man, it was
Was it-
tough.
Bird would not shut up.
Not shut up. 4 a.m. You
Yeah,
and
so
Winham-
we got back home from Cooch's house we went over to Cooch's. We got back to our place at what, 12:30?
yeah, midnight.
I think it was
12:30.
12:30, and there was a big tree right in front of the house we were staying at, and we all hop out, and there's this bird, and this thing is going like it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just
doing a
like
mating
chirping
call.
away. I don't know what
Just-
it would. I mean, it's just steady talking. I mean, it's dead of the night. There's no other sounds, and so I had a hard time. Like, I didn't look out the windows upstairs a lot, so I had a hard time like understanding where I was at, and until we talked a little about the bird. So we went up, and I went in our bedroom, and my bedroom was on the back side of the house, but because the upstairs was kind of like a horseshoe, I just didn't fully get that. I thought you guys were on the side of the house for some reason. I didn't really realize and understand that you guys were actually all both your room and then I think my kids' rooms were all facing like the front where that bird was at. So when y'all woke up, we're like, "Oh, did you hear the bird all night?" And I was like, "No, not even a little bit. What are you talking about?" You were like, "It freaking sucked. It went on all night long. It was ridiculous." And I was like, "How did you guys hear it? And I didn't hear it." And then I realized, oh wait,
We were right.
like, yeah, you guys were like right by the tree.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I told Cory, I'm like, I was just put out just so the damn mating call would stop. You know,
It was like till 3
was-
in the morning.
it really
wild.
was, and it was loud. It wasn't even subtle, and it was just repeated. Like it was a lot. So again, thanks for giving me the bed. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
If anything, I was going to go on the couch with Ponton.
I got a picture that says you were on the couch with Ponton.
I forgot to send that to Cory.
It's all right. I showed it to Cory.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's when he found your other picture in there.
Yeah.
Oh, did you send him the other ones that I took?
No, I deleted those pictures off my phone. I don't need any more.
I go, Cory, this is Holland's phone. I'm going. Again, hockey tournaments bring out the kids in us.
Oh, that's it's a different kind of kid, but all right, that's kind of weird. Oh man. So oh man. That was good. Good. Well, Cory, you got anything you want to throw at us?
No, I'll hit Abdoo with a reverse Uno card since you're
beautiful.
All right.
You're like an autumn complected gentleman. I'm a fall complected one. How did you get into hockey?
How did I? My dad. My dad played hockey. When I was little, one of my favorite pictures is...
Hang on though. So there's a little bit of lost in translation here. So if you only listen to this, then you don't watch this, you don't quite understand what Cory's describing. I don't really want to be the one to describe this, but I'll do it. Surprise! Oh man.
Yeah, I know there's not many of us, but
our good friend, and we've had a lot of discussions between the three of us about this before. And Cory, you and I have talked about this as well. But there are not a ton of, and it's becoming more common, especially in the NHL and especially in the younger ranks. You're seeing a lot more kids, but there's not a ton of minority kids and minority NHL guys. There are more and more. You've got some of the more well-known guys that really, for lack of a better term, broke the ice. And got out there that are now commentators and stuff. So it's good to have those guys on. But yeah, Cory is obviously black. If you've looked
it's
at
not
anything,
that obvious.
I mean, not if you're listening, but if you look at him, it seems fairly apparent. And Abdoo is of Asian descent, right? And so the question that Cory's asking is basically like, hey, this is how Cory got into it. Cory's saying, I came from a poor background, obviously being a kid that was a minority kid. It was really uncommon for him to be involved in hockey. So all of that was kind of odd. And so the question to Abdoo is like, hey, my dad was in it. But there's a backstory to that too, that Abdoo's not really got into. I don't even know do you even want to, I don't think you have a problem saying that on the air, but do you want to say that in the air? Because
that I was found in a dumpster and then I was adopted.
God dang it. I hate you so much.
So I was,
Abdoo was adopted. So his dad wasn't Asian. His dad that is his dad is white. So it's not like, hey, my Asian dad played hockey.
Yeah, my mom.
That's what I was getting at. God dang it. You got both of you guys. I hate you so much. You're going to listen to this and be like, the Holland guy's a super racist person. I'm really not. These two morons just make it so difficult to paint the picture that I have to do it. Like now I look like I'm painting with a racist.
My mom and my dad, they are a white. So I was. They are a white.
That's not the text you wrote earlier. It was an effing white. Oh,
so
white.
They.
Cory, do you remember the first interaction? I'm sorry, Cory. Do you remember the first thing when I played? It was the very first season we had ice, and you were playing, and I was filling in for somebody in C League, and I had gotten to know you, so we had cut up a little bit, and we'd played together. We played roller together. So we knew each other from roller, and so we had gotten to know each other that way. So we would cut up on ice. You played in the C, I was playing in the A, and so we didn't play a ton together. But we were playing in a game together, and I'm born and raised in the South, so I'm very, very, very sensitive to racial issues and things, and I'm never one to try to bring anything like that up because I don't want to upset somebody or offend anybody, and I really try to be careful about that. And so you don't have a problem with it whatsoever. You're like, hey, I think you actually like to use it a little bit to make people uncomfortable at times.
I like to make you uncomfortable. Yes.
You did. And so we were playing in the game. Do you remember what I'm talking about? So we were playing in this game, and Cory is a bigger guy, right? And so something happened, and somebody got knocked over or whatever, and Cory had knocked him over. He got in a penalty. And so later in the game,
over somebody?
It was an accident.
First of all, they ran into me.
There you go. So this was it. But Cory got the call, right? And so later in the same game, one of his other guys, same kind of thing happens. A guy falls over. There's no call, but it was because the guy was smaller than Cory. And Cory's like, oh, man, that happens to me, and I don't get the call. I turned and looked over at Cory. I was like, Cory, you know why that is, right? Now, mind you, I'm sitting on the other bench. There's like 30 guys out here on the ice and on the benches. And Cory turns and looks at me deadpan and goes, It's because I'm black. Is that what you're trying to say? I was like, wait, no. No. Why would you even know? You're bigger than that other guy. That's what it is. Why? And then Cory starts dying laughing. I'm like, I hate you so much.
Yeah,
So
that was the first time I got you, and you were.
So can I go on with my story, please?
Yeah, man, we get it. You were adopted. Your dad was hockey. We got it. Congratulations. That's how you got started.
Oh my God!
All right, cool. I'll just go.
The whites adopted you. They thought you were going to be a doctor. They're sorely disappointed.
Yes, at the age of 16, they thought they were set for life, and here I am.
Oh gosh! I know your
dad.
I know your dad listens. I don't think your mom does. I'm sorry, Papa Abdoo. We're just kidding. We're busting Abdoo's
They're not
chops.
kidding. You should have heard what they said about you in Jacksonville, Dad. They were just really mean. No, they did. No, but anyways, yeah, my dad got me into hockey. My dad played. One of my favorite pictures is my dad holding me at the actual rink that I still play at now. And then there's another picture. It all started with pond hockey. My dad would take us to the pond, play pond hockey. He built a rink in our backyard when I was a peewee player, and his dad built a rink in his backyard for my dad and his brothers. So he brought that family tradition. So whenever I don't have kids, I'll build a rink in my backyard for none of the kids I'm going to have.
You can adopt a kid,
but I do have.
Carry on
I learn from people's mistakes. I don't get married. I don't have kids, and I'm not going to adopt. I learn from people's mistakes. I have one quick question for you.
Jeez, man, why are you taking all these shots directly at me? That's so mean. Good grief.
No, I'm adopted. I wouldn't do what my parents did. It's not about you.
Gotcha.
You and I were playing against each other. One of the first games of this season. Why did you come across the rink? Full-blown Mack truck. You saw that I had the puck, and you just had the Terminator target locked in on the Asian, and you went. And thank God I had shoulder pads. This is one of the reasons why, and this is when I first started wearing shoulder pads again in men's league. They saved my life. You just steamrolled me. Why did you do that? That would honestly be considered a hate crime.
We go these long periods of time where I feel like you forgot about this and you've let it go, and then every time you just bring it back up. I did not run into you on purpose. There are very few people that I would run into on purpose. And
feel free to name them.
No.
Hey, look, I purposely didn't mention it on the way down to Jacksonville when you rode with me because I wanted to wait.
I think I tried to step out of your way, and you stepped the same way, and you just happened to hit.
That was one time I was like, I'm gonna do this sick dangle, and you went the same way I did, and I ended up. And you stood
Cory,
over me. You're like, take that, bitch. Why did you say that?
I was gonna say, why did you say big things move little things then? If it was an accident,
why did you do the D-Generation X crotch chop? You're like,
because it's you. That was just a precursor for you winning the championship. I just was giving that to
I probably deserve it then. I get it. That's fine.
But no, I generally, I am a bigger dude. I would never try and hurt somebody intentionally. I might give them a little, hey, how are you? There's a few.
I like your hey, how are yous.
That's what I was afraid of getting in the shower was a hey, how are you?
But yeah, we're all too old, and we all got to go to work the next morning. And if I can't blame it on the Army, I can't get hurt for legal reasons. That is a joke. But
Good disclaimer. Oh, that's funny.
This is a great podcast. My stomach hurts from laughing so hard. Are you tired? Have you been sleeping?
Or the pasta salad and Doritos you ate before the podcast? Might be doing it
with no pasta salad.
Sorry, my mic. I can't. My headphones are broken. Can't hear you. I slept all day yesterday, and I've been sleeping all day today. Are you exhausted at all?
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly. I probably need to go get my levels checked. I'm always tired. I slept when I got home yesterday for a few hours.
Like 30. What are you? 35?
Yeah.
You're talking like your T levels are low, like you're sleep. I'm tired of testosterone talk this weekend.
They might be.
Yeah,
You had your fill of that this weekend.
Hey, we know a guy. We know a guy that can help you out there, Corey. We know a guy.
I can't afford to be in anywhere near where that guy shops. Yeah, I gotta go to the I gotta go to the Costco of the.
There's a black market. There's a black market.
Whoa.
Apparently. It's not. See, there we go again. You're trying to drag people into something we're not even trying to say.
Wait, and that's like earlier when he's like, I saw this little black thing dart across the floor.
I know
I have 2 black dogs. I have 2 dogs that are black. Relax.
Oh man.
There's something funny I can say, but I know I really can't say it on this podcast because it would get me in a lot of trouble.
It would get us. Jeremy's like, for some reason, these podcasts won't upload because we just been canceled.
Yeah, you gotta be careful these days.
There's not I'd love to put like an explicit tag on this one, but I can't really put the explicit tag. I'm gonna have to put a racial tag on it and be like, heads up, guys, we're not racist.
Welcome to the Dump and Race podcast.
If you're a little sensitive to some of this humor, you might want to not listen at all.
Well, after Nashville, Corey, you're gonna have to be on again because I know we're gonna have some good stories after the Nashville. So you'll be like
the
a
first
third
repeat, yeah.
Yeah. We got to get Cooch on. Cooch is like the most talked about.
Yes, I think you guys mentioned Coots once a podcast.
Every podcast.
It ain't you guys. It's one Jeremy Abdoo.
Oh, that's true. His daddy.
It's so funny because
when he screamed it in the rink and Cooch is sitting at the bar and he's like, "Daddy," Cooch of course turns around. He knows.
Cooch totally answers every time, like, "Hey, Daddy." He was sitting at the bar. We walked in. I go, "Daddy," and he just turns around nonchalantly, like that's what I normally. I've called him Daddy on the ice a couple of times too.
Oh,
I just was looking at the old dude that was standing like right by the entrance.
I think every old guy turned around. I think every old guy turned around.
Oh gosh. Oh, so ridiculous.
Corey, thank you for being on the podcast.
No, I appreciate you guys. I love shooting the shit with you guys. Especially getting a taste of it when we were in Jacksonville. It's fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
The ones where we laugh.
Oh my god.
What an idiot.
And then you just put your face right back in the mic. That's crazy. You're gonna get paid.
And he complained.
Glad. We'll talk.
He complained the last episode about duty smells in his face, and here he is ripping him in the microphone and shoving the microphone.
Were you in the locker room? Were you in the locker room for when
Brendan tried to run us all out of there?
When he took the deuce?
No, I don't. I didn't remember. You guys talked about it after. I don't recall. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I think I was still.
If you were in there, you would have.
Corey's breaking out his army gas mask, getting ready with it.
I didn't even think I'd need this on this trip. I'm glad I brought it. Good.
Put on the mop gear. Yeah.
Great. So my dad drove down from Michigan with his cousin Ginger, and he's like, "Yeah, we're listening to the podcast right now." I'm like, "Oh, Dad, I'm so sorry. I'm Ginger. I'm so sorry, Ginger. I'm sorry. Now I just farted on the podcast." So, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna make my mom listen to this one. I'll have my mom listen to. We'll be driving to the car. Oh, and my sister is gonna be like, "Mandy, I'm sorry. I'm not. You've heard me before."
Stop apologizing. They all know you're not sorry for this nonsense.
No, but Ginger's so proper and everything, and my dad's like, "Yeah, we're listening to the podcast, talking about diet." And I know I said something stupid in the diet. Whatever.
It's every episode. I said something stupid in the diet episode. Like that's the only one you said something stupid in. Get out of here. This one time I said a dumb comment. Oh gosh, it's so ridiculous. Corey, thanks for being on, buddy. We really appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back on. So we'll see you. I guess we'll see you in about another week or so when we all try to get together to grab all the Nashville gear.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, buddy. We'll see you later.
All right, you guys. Take care. Thanks again.
Peace, buddy. Bye.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Corey's a good dude.
Jeez, this is weird seeing you on the screen that way. So
good backstory too. I didn't realize. I know a lot about Corey's upbringing. A lot of he didn't even talk about, but I never really thought about the financial piece of it. That's a big deal because that's a big problem for a lot of people. A lot of people here in Savannah, because Savannah's not a really affluent area. I mean, there's pockets of it, but you got a lot of other sports that take precedence. So you got a lot of people that are spending that money in other places. So there is a very, very, very big minority community here in Savannah. And that's one of the big things is I'd love to be able to affect that community in a positive way and get them involved in a sport like hockey, just because of how good it was for me and the team mentality and the things that you learn out there and the positivity that you can give guys by being a part of that team and stuff. And it is really like a family. It doesn't really matter what color your skin is or what background you came from. I mean, I love Cory. He's a great guy. I was
really good guy.
Regardless of whatever skill level he is or isn't, I was super happy to have him in Jacksonville. I'm super excited about traveling with him to Nashville just because he's a good guy. He's good people. He's good to have around. So, and he knows this. I've told him that before. So I hated seeing him deployed, but was glad he made it back safe and got back and has been able to travel with us. So yeah, good for him to talk a little bit about that. I'm glad people can get to hear that side of his story. So it's definitely cool. So
and maybe we could touch in more on that too.
What?
Sorry.
I don't know what you just said, but
I don't know. I'm sleep deprived.
Good comments, Holland. Huh? Okay. Oh man. All right, guys. It's another long podcast. These will be hitting the area, whatever, the Spotify and stuff pretty soon. Oh, we haven't even said it yet. If you haven't liked or subscribed or followed, please go hit them up. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys supporting us. Keep it up. Like you said on the last podcast, say it again. We got a giveaway coming up. Hopefully some good gear from the guys at 24 Hockey. We'll get that advertised here pretty soon and get a little giveaway thing going for you guys. But again, thanks a million times over for listening and supporting us. We love you guys. Keep it up. Peace.
Bye.